Chris Foerster. We just got to talk about it. You're on the Tarrerdome.
This is a journey. Journey into sound.
And welcome, everyone. Welcome. You're on the Tarrerdome at 10/04/2024. June 4th. That'd be 2 days around from D-Day, which is celebrating its 80th anniversary. D-Day, when we went on and invaded France back in the day. Some really great veterans from the greatest generation. Imagine that, the greatest generation. And they were different back then. Farm boys, street guys, wise guys, World War II vets, man, salute to you. Thank you for your service. I often get that a lot, but for those boys who are really getting up in age at this time, I think some of the last of the boys are holding on. So I want to just take time out and salute them. Almost D-Day. I think I will be on D-Day, myself and Reg Show. So that ought to be good. On my rundown here, I got Finding Foerster. And, we just might as well get into it. It was a little bit at the tail end of our show on Thursday when Colin Young revealed, hey, did you hear what Chris Foerster said? And I said, no. And we ran it a little bit on the program, talked about it. And I knew I was pissed off a little bit to festivity when I saw and heard these things. So I said to myself, let's look at this thing again and dissect how he said it and what he said in its entirety. So with that said, as I get bigger on the screen, we're going to go back and look at exactly how this thing developed and how it came down. He was doing a presser, and this is what went on.
Lineman in. At some point, can you draft? Yeah, you draft Trent Williams. You draft the pick of draft where you're getting a difference maker. But there's guys that can make difference that touch the ball well into second, third, fourth rounds, or second, third rounds at least, and definitely in the first round. That guy that touches the ball, it makes a huge difference in the game. The right guard makes a difference. We've talked about it before, but that's why we're able to find fourth and fifth round draft picks. And if they've been, you go find, it's how dominant is the difference between pick, 34 versus pick 54 in offensive line play. And that's what you're trying to balance all the time. So will we best available player, all those types of things? Definitely will. And were we possibly ready to draft guys higher in the draft? Yes, but if there's somebody that can touch the ball and make plays, in my opinion, you asked me, Chris, do you want him? I want the guy that touches the ball for me, because I think we can develop those players much more readily and have developed those players through the times, because we do have a specific things that we're looking for. We know what we're looking for through the course of time. That's the advantage of being together with Kyle for so long, that we kind of can pigeonhole these guys. Are we always right? Heck no, we're not always right. And nobody is on anything. So yeah, could you put 5 first rounders across the front? I don't know that we have to have success. And it hasn't been that case as far as running the football and protecting the quarterback. Do we have, yeah, we don't have 5 first rounders. So there's always going to be that. But the fact that you can throw a short pass to Debo, even though the right tackle's getting beat, it ends up being a 60-yard touchdown. So, yeah, the right tackle blocks somebody, but if the guy gets tackled at 5 yards, you don't have the 60-yard touchdown. Boy, that right tackle did a great job. What's it matter if the guy touching the ball can't take it to the house? So there's the trade-off, and you're constantly playing that game.
That belief for you kind of rooted in the system, and also how much is just rooted in the fact that you've been doing this a long time?
I'm telling you, I did it when I got to Baltimore. A good friend of mine, Jed Fish, who's the head coach at the University of Washington now, he and I were talking, and he was a quality control guy in Baltimore. And New England this was the mid 2004 or 5, whatever it was. They were the rage. And I said, go watch that offensive line and just tell me how good they are. And he started looking at it, and he goes, my gosh, he just put 5 X's on the board, nondescript, circled them, and said, it doesn't matter who those 5 guards, as long as 12 is the quarterback. And he started to Randy Moss, Wes Welker, and those guys, Edelman. He says, it doesn't matter. And it didn't. You just saw that they did an excellent job. Dante did a great job of coaching them. They had a system that they believed in, and they got the ball to the people that could do things with the football. And he's like, I get it. Now, there's a line, and this is what I always say with offensive line play. And this is a cool discussion. I love this discussion. There's a line below which that with offensive line play that if you just drop a little bit below it, it's a gaping hole. It's just all of a sudden you're like, he can't block anybody. And now we got a major problem. But as long as they're at that line and just above it, you can survive it, and you can take care of them. We've got ways within our system. We can chip. We can do all sorts of things to help guys. Slide lines, double team the best rusher on the team. There's so many mechanisms to help a lineman that's insufficient. If a guy can't get open, if a guy can't catch the ball and run, that's where we have a problem. But an offensive line play, you got to be careful. You got to have those 6, 7, 8 guys that are just at that line or above, and that's the challenge. Where's that line in the draft? Is it the 3rd round, 2nd round, 4th round, 5th? When's that line where all of a sudden the tackles have dried up, the guards have dried up? Now you're talking about drafting backup players, which is fine. They're backup players, but they're not going to be long-term starters for your team, and that's the challenge for me. Because eventually the guys that can run and score touchdowns run out. They're not there anymore. So you have to find those quality starters at other positions. And you got to be right, because oftentimes when you draft a lineman in the 4th or 5th round, there might be a guy that could come in immediately and contribute on special teams, contribute to be a backup linebacker, safety. And that's where, so I'm not, okay, we didn't draft him first, second. We got to take somebody in the 4th round here, because I got 5 guys, got 5 holes to fill. So.
Okay. I'm reminded of, the older I get, I'm often reminded of Mr. Hand on Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And I want to give you a little Mr. Hand right now.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
That's about where I'm at with it. Yeah, it's a Mr. Hand deal here. Just what in the hell do you think you're doing? Literally. Let's just take inventory. Let's look at this thing really analytically for just for a moment. And when I say that, I'm going to put up my chat, and Red Jet Shell somewhere in that chat somewhere, just monitoring like a good hall monitor. And I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at the chat as I'm saying. But let's go historically. You have for me, football kind of really starts with my study of football is my dad and my uncles talking, and Steve Sable, NFL Films, and it goes all the way back to Brett Musburger, Jimmy the Greek, Jane Kennedy, Irv Cross on the NFL Today. And I was always fond of John Facenda's voice as the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. And anything that was and is football, this is what I came up on. It's my favorite sport of all time. And the first dynasty in the Super Bowl era, and even somewhat before, were the Green Bay Packers. And at the centerpiece, at the very construction of the Green Bay Packers, was Vince Lombardi's centerpiece, which was the offensive line. Now, way back when, Bart Starr and John Taylor and not John, it was John Taylor, Jim Taylor and Paul Hornung, and those guys, they were pretty good, but they weren't, the best of the best. But Vince Lombardi made daggone sure that those 5 blocks of granite would go to you and flow to you. Men like Forrest Gregg and men like Jerry Kramer. And then we moved into the 70s with the Steelers. And I remember Mike Webster having these huge arms playing center. You could see the muscle and the big huge triceps as he used to grab the ball and point out the mic and stuff. In the 80s, we had some pretty serious linemen, and this is where it gets skewed a bit. We had men like Jesse Sapolo, and even before him, Keith Farnhorst and Bubba Paris and Guy McIntyre and Harris Barton. And that forged that dynasty. And then in the 90s, and I'm going to bring up him right now, this gets a little melancholy. I want to give a rest in peace and all of the condolences and sincerity to a tackle of ours, as well as the Dallas Cowboys, Larry Allen, who passed away Sunday down in Mexico with his family. One of the absolute best that there has ever been. He was phenomenal, and we're going to talk about him a little bit more on this show, but we're going to shout him out right now. Rest in power. True power. I think the man bench pressed somewhere around 692 pounds, if I am correct. Larry Allen did 692. He might have on an off day threw up 700, but I remember 692 being the number, seeing that bar bend as he was pushing up 692 pounds, 7-time All-Pro, 11-time Pro Bowler. Larry Allen, rest in power, rest in peace. He was the Cowboys. He won rings with the Cowboys, or at least a ring, if I'm not mistaken. He came kind of on the tail end of it, and before him was a player who went to Central State of Ohio, and Kylie Young, you know the deal. Central State of Ohio won't to be played with. And we went up there one cold November. And they were real with it. They were real with it. Yes, sir, Kylie. He is a Cali man. He is most affectionately called LA. I'm not sure if it's just for the location in which he came from, out of Compton, California, or the man was as big as Los Angeles and as powerful. And he used to go to, flow to, and flow through some of the best that ever did it in the 90s. And shout out Steve Wallace. Thanks, Nick Knight. Steve Wallace was the truth. And those 90s Cowboys ushered in the greatest stat rusher there ever was, Emmitt Smith, as well as protected Troy Aikman, and made certain that Michael Irvin could get the ball, and Harper and Jay Novacek. Those guys had names like Nate Newton, Larry Allen, Eric Williams, Stepnoski, 2-A. And you roll over into the next decade, in the 2000s, the New England Patriots had people like Big Todd Light from Patrick Henry High School in Richmond, Virginia, at my cousin's high school, Damian Woody. They had a plethora of stars, man. You can't call them stars because offensive line is like the Secret Service. If you hear their names during the games, it's probably something wrong. Your Secret Service should never be seen, but the effects of it are astronomical. And these guys didn't touch the ball, except for the center. So I don't know, maybe Chris Foerster missed that part, but the center gets the party started and he touches the ball every snap. True fact. Y'all can fact check me if you want. It all starts with the center. We not hiking it to the stars and being like flag football or what we call pity pat or anything like that or hardy ball. It starts with the center touching the ball. One of the key cornerstones of your offensive line touches the ball every down. Every down. And for you to be the offensive line coach and you to marginalize offensive line and for you to say you prefer to get a tight end that can't block or catch or a skill position guy who we don't even need because we got more receivers you can shake a stick at over getting a premium center because we couldn't get the tackle. I understand. And I know people have these short-term memories and can only remember back just so far, but we couldn't get the tackle. We wanted one of those top 10 guys. All right. I give everybody that. But what happened last year when we were in the third round and we went safety, kicker, tight end that can't catch. And on that board was DeJuan Jones. I heard things like he's too big or he ain't really what we're looking for. He doesn't fit these certain set of skills that the 49ers need. It's like, a bald man in a wheelchair are looking for these specific types that Kyle and Chris have. Good isn't one of the prerequisites. Tight end that can't catch. Easily could have drafted Little Feet, aka Lord, Shell. Yeah, probably could have. You could have rode that champagne ride a little bit, Red Jet, and took a little something home for your trouble. I think what did he do? 500,000 last year. That's cool. And I was real put off and perturbed down with that whole thing. I was because success, and that this might be my problem. It might be just me. Some people have gotten really, really comfortable and really, really complacent with success merely being we were competitive and we got to the Super Bowl, or we were competitive and we got to the NFC Championship, and we were competitive and hey, we went to the playoffs. It was a good season. It was fine. But for those of us whose success means not only did we go to the Super Bowl, but we won it. Because that's the 49ers that we grew up on. We used to be 5-0, first team to 5. And there was no mistake and there was no denying if the 49ers went, Lombardi's coming home. Book it. But now, we have to look at some things and the whole season, as Rod Calley is chiming in a little bit. The whole season is predicated on the success of winning a Lombardi, because never have we assembled this many good ball players on a single roster. Well, I'll go back as far as last year. Last year at this time, maybe it'll be like August, they do the top 100 of all the active NFL players. And last year we had 8 of them, and I thought there were 2 snubs in there. Yeah, I remember distinctly. It was 8 of them, and Brock wasn't one of them. And I think they left off Greenlaw. And if it, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just saying that's a lot of good ball players to be on one team. When people are coming to you and say, "Man, we need to see y'all books, because I think y'all cooking the books." It's no way y'all under the salary cap. It's this, it's that. But for you to have that many and it not come home, and you got an all-pro at receiver, you got an all-pro, offensive player of the year at running back, you got one of the best tight ends, Pauls, that 1 or 2 arguably in the entire league, and just rolling over with talent and this and that, and one of the best left tackles that ever did it. But your offensive line is ranked 28th in some categories, 23, hovering around 23, deeper than 23. We gotta look at some things, dude. This ain't screaming to you that that might be an improvement. Is it 100% going to fix everything? I don't know, but I will play the percentages that it's at least 60% going to happen, or 70% going to happen. But for my offensive line to come off that way, my offensive line coach to come off that way, no, man. No. Vince Lombardi rolling over in his grave right now.
What the hell's going on out here? Everybody.
Vince Lombardi is rolling over. No, it starts up front. It starts up front. It starts up front, regardless of this pervasive fantasy football that all you need is receivers, a great quarterback. You don't need good quality offensive linemen. You can just get by. And I wrote some things down. He said, you can get the offensive lineman help. You can chip. You can double team. You can do different things to be okay. That was a quote. You can chip, you can help. Those are the things I heard. And hey, we got to be real with something. We got to be 100 on this. That some things aren't quite adding up. They're not. They simply are not. And as I go back a little bit more analytically, I see some other things. Let me go back up here. Go to the next slide. Oh, yeah, I was looking at another show, and he was saying, well, the 80s, I ain't gonna say who his name was, but at 44 minutes and 33 seconds in, I responded to him, And he said, yeah, back in the 80s, they had the 49ers had Joe Montana and Roger Craig and Rathman and John Taylor and Jerry Rice. So maybe you really don't need offensive linemen. So I went back in my Wayback Machine and reminded him UNC's Harris Barton was a first rounder. Third rounder from Georgia, Guy McIntyre. Second rounder from UCLA, Randy Cross. Fourth rounder from Auburn, Steve Wallace. Bubba Paris was a second round pick out of Michigan. And Keith Fanhorst, second round pick, Minnesota. It was a 11th round pick because they had 12 rounds way back in the day, named Jesse Sapolo. The coach of our offensive line was Bob McKittrick. He was an offensive line 5-time Super Bowl champion. I say it again, 5-time Super Bowl champion, a Marines Marine, a perfectionist, and a disciplinarian whose only peer at the time was Joe Bugle, who was the offensive line coach for the Washington Redskins from 1981 to 1989, where they won 2, should have been 3, a lot of people say, but the Raiders just ate their lunch in Tampa, who had arguably the best offensive line of the 80s, with players nicknamed the Hogs, with players like Russ Grimm, Hall of Famer out of Pitt, third rounder. First rounder, Mark May from Pitt as well. The Cowboys had Eric Williams, as I said, from the central state of Ohio. Boy, they whooped us some kind of bad. Stepnoski, third rounder out of Pitt. And the immortal Larry Allen, second round pick, Sonoma State. Do y'all see a reoccurring theme? I hope I'm not boring you, but we can't let this pervasiveness of the marginalization of offensive line go unchecked. I just can't deal with it. I really can't. And I knew they were going to do this stuff this draft. I said, we got a first and second round pick. Why stay messing around and going to be getting a receiver? Because this is what they do. Or get some guy that can't play dead in a Western and use that first and second round pick. I liked it better when we only had 3 threes or 3 picks in the third round. Don't give these kids choices. They don't give them first and second round because they're going to blow the pick, man. They're going to be blowing it. It just pisses me off, y'all, because everything starts with that offensive line. It's the engine of the car. It's the straw that stirs the drink. It's the glass that you pour the drink into. It protects your quarterback. And here's another thing. They were saying, how can Brock get better? How can Brock get better? He led the league in yards per attempt with 9, doing it at a efficient rate where he didn't even throw that much, but you still came away with an all-pro receiver and Brock Purdy hitting close to 70%. I think it was 69.8, somewhere around there, 68.9 something. And yards per attempt, where they would just, everybody was just saying dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. I remember the t-shirts, the bumper stickers, and everything else. But he did that and was leading in every statistical category that truly mattered last year. How can he get better? Give him more time. Give him more time. Protect him even more. That way it will stop the naysayers and booger eaters from saying, oh, look at how he ran for his life, got out of that, and threw the ball across the field. That's very dangerous. It could be something. So if you protect him, he ain't got to go out here running for his life and making those crazy throws. You see how it gets better? One more second gets Brock even better. That's what I'm saying. How can CMC get better? Oh, well, if you open the holes a little bit more, I think you could throw another 50, 60, 70, 90 yards on to CMC's total average. CMC will get better with greater offensive line play. How does George Kittle get better? Well, when you don't have to use him as a third tackle and he can go ahead and get out and spread his wings and be the best yak tight end that this game knows this side of Kelsey, he probably can get a little bit better. And it's just me just having it out with America right now. Just my little therapy. Because when I see stuff like this, man, I'm Vince Lombardi, man. What the hell's going on out here? How is my offensive line coach fixing his mouth to say I'd rather have a skill position who can help out on specialty? Like he reinventing the wheel. And don't get me wrong. Heck, if it started working and we had 2-3 more rings on my fingers, I would be like, well, my stuff shattered. I guess I just don't know what the game's changed, which it is. The game has changed quite a bit. But we still block and tackle, don't it? Yeah. I tell you another thing that can get better. If you had more high performance up front, all of a sudden, you can protect leads because good offensive line play gives you cash money when you have the lead, the ball, and momentum. Just win on first downs. Here's a little lesson for y'all. I think winning on first down means on first down, you get at least 4 or 5 yards. That sets you up for a second down and 5 or better. A second down and 4, maybe. Now you ain't got to get but 4 more yards. You got 2 downs to get 4 yards. You got 2 downs to get 5 yards. Losing on first down, which is 3 yards and less, instantly puts you in a passing down, and that thing could stop the clock easy with an incomplete, and now you got a big setup for third down, third and long. You can sustain a drive longer and take time off the clock when you have good running game deep in the game. This is how the good teams put them away. This is how the great teams put them away. It is your overhand right from Riddick. It is that Joe Frazier uppercut. It is that left hook of Mike Tyson. Putting them away late in the third quarter to the fourth quarter. You keep moving the ball, as Hank Stram once said. You keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys. And what's most important, you take time off the clock. And even better than that, some of your deadliest offensive weapons absolutely, positively cannot hurt you if they're on the bench. I promise it's a fact. In the history of this game, the 103, yeah, I think it's 3, maybe 104 coming up. 104-year history of this game. The best and greatest quarterbacks, wide receivers, and everything have not done anything of statistical value on the sideline. Check me if I ain't right. Check me if I ain't right. Come on, you know what they say. Thanks to all for coming and hanging out with Tarrerdome. Well, yes, thank them all. Thank them all. But hey, this ain't for the weary at heart. I was pissed off with that whole presser. And some are saying, you know, oh, he just said this for Kyle. If that's the case, Kyle, you wrong too. You wrong is 2 left feet. I clean that up. You wrong is 2 left feet and 2 right shoes. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Let me get to some of this good chat. We were moving the ball and CMC fumbled. Yes, CMC did fumble. It was early. It was the first possession of the Super Bowl, but he did it before too in Minnesota. I think he had one in another game. I seem to think Green Bay maybe. And it happens. You know, some people will fumble the ball. But early you can recover. And he didn't fumble when you had the lead down the pike. You know, I mean, you can make some mistakes early. You recover, you put a bad memory on it, slide it out the back door. We got 57 more minutes of football to play. You know, a baseball player strikes out in the first inning. Are we just done? He's not gonna go up and bat again for the rest of the game. That's it. You get 1 strike and 1 strikeout. That's it. I'm done. No, you keep on swinging. You be all right. All right. They got a little, as long as they don't get points off the turnover, because points off a turnover, there's nothing better than points in the NFL. The only thing is points off turnovers, because not only did it nullify yours, but it put some of theirs on the board, thusly creating. You ever hear people say, "Man, that's a 7-point swing," or "That's a 14-point swing," which is really down in the weeds. If you're about to go in on a sure touchdown, that's why a pick 6 or a scoop and score 6 is absolutely devastating. Because that was shown enough going to be a touchdown, and now shown enough it's for them. That's a 12-point swing easy. You're battling back off of that. But hey, CMC fumble, Pacheco fumble. Now, if we would have gotten points off of his fumble, that's a 12-point swing because they were deep down in our territory. You see how that works? But if you don't get points off the turnover, play ball, man. We still gonna win this thing. And particularly late. I think I'll have to develop a stat for that, how bad that they don't nobody really has that. So I think I will. And I can't take credit for any of it. It's just something that me and a a couple of guys just really was thinking about how bad is it to get a scoop and score? How much does that cost you? And boom, there it is. What else I have on the rundown here as I read? Let me go back up. 14 reasons. I've developed some of them already. 14 reasons why it is important to have your best on the offensive line. You can get Kittle in the pattern more, making him better. The play calls get easier in the third and fourth quarter. You don't have to worry about as much. You got the lead, the momentum, and the possession of the ball. Heck, if you knocking them off the ball and you're dominating up front, it's no need to even throw it. When you throw a football and it's an incomplete pass, a completion is great, but when it's an incomplete pass, the average play, if you sit and watch any NFL game, any high school game, any college game, the average play would be around 6 seconds. From snap to finish, usually takes 6 seconds. Usually 6 seconds. But the 40-second clock still runs continuous as long as nobody steps out of bounds, right? And then you come back to the huddle, call a new play, break the huddle in less than 11 seconds, get them online, do your pre-snap motion, and run another one. Man, you done took 46 seconds off the board, and the clock is continually moving. But if you throw 3 incompletions, or if you complete one after 6 seconds and he steps out of bounds, you ain't took number 18 seconds off that clock. Well, number 18 seconds. 18 seconds of throws, of incompletions or quick step outs versus 46, 46, 46 and a first down. That's 120 seconds plus 12. That's 120. That's 2 minutes and 5 seconds. 2 minutes and 18 seconds, I think. Right? How many minutes in it? How many seconds in a minute? It's 60 seconds in a minute, and you've taken up 120 plus 6. So that's 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Yeah, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. You see how much more clock you've used up by running it because you have a dominant run offense. Time off the clock, possessions longer. You protect your QBs. This is how bad we got. Rather than go out and get better linemen, we go out and get more quarterbacks. Think about that. We're 2 years removed from Brock, getting his daggone elbow torn up. Jimmy G got his foot cracked. Trey Lance got his ankle cracked. And what's my man? Josh, or the one that got knocked around in Philly. He got concussed. So we were throwing more quarterbacks at it and saying, let's get another quarterback. Rather than, hey, y'all don't think we got a protection problem, man? It's just me. If you got these quarterbacks going down like flies, you got a protection issue, dude. If you in the Secret Service, Josh Johnson, thank you, Nick Nice. And with that said, I'm gonna hold up a little bit. I'm gonna shout my Golden Domers out, because I'm hot, but I'm friendly. But this Chris Foerster. Boy, I tell you what. I got mine. Yeah. That sounds a little bit better. Turn my music up here. Turn my mic up. Yo, turn my mic up. That's what the rappers always say. Let me get it together here. All right, Golden Domers. Here we go. Shouting out 49ers throwback. Good morning, fam. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much, 49ers throwback. Wonderful seeing you. My girl, Red Jet Shell. Good morning, all. Another beautiful day in Tarrerdome land. Hey, Tarrerdome land. That kind of sound like, I got a theme park here. Like and subscribe, young lady. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Red Jet. You know how we do. Go hard in the painting. And I hope I ain't get a pause on there. Sick Night. Say it twice. Sick Night 21. Good morning, Golden Dome. Yes, sir, man. Welcome to Golden Domers. And yours is like pure gold, my man. Yours is pure gold. You got the good help. Remember, Notre Dame used to have real gold in there, huh? Rod Kelly. God, man, y'all had a good show yesterday. We took up last night and laughed. Good deal, man. Yeah, y'all was acting up a little bit in there, man. It's kind of crazy how a good time follows Rod Kelly. Ain't that something? Kind of does. And a good thing is Mr. Nisha. Good morning, Tarrerdome and chat. I hope everyone is doing well this beautiful morning. That is a wonderful welcome. It's just like people coming in and say good morning, dear people. We're all in our places with Callie Young out here, man. I messed with some of that Rod Callie and Callie Young. So my ambidextrous mind running a little rampant out here. What's going on, my dude? And I gotta share the news. Remind me to share the news about recent signings with the 49ers. We had talked about it earlier. Who he's like, and that was a good comp that you had. I was thinking that in my subconscious, but it ain't creep up to me. Who else we got up in here? Going down. I think it's a Golden Dome moment. Golden Dome moment. I'm scrolling and I'm David next Niner. What's going on, Dave? You know how we rode hard. Dewan Jones and our boy Dago. Titans that, man. Titans, our former people are getting our people. That's how somebody's warped. Because every time I look, people who were 49ers are getting involved as we thought people to have. And the remnant left are getting head scratches. Somebody was holding somebody's head. I'm just and as they come in, oh, there go my man. Niner Gang Podcast. Dion is in the building. My girl Jet and my boy. Hey, there you go. What about me? I'm living enemy. Hey, making tragedy. That's the old Paulie reference from the original Rocky. As I faded. Yeah. Oh, Paulie was what was Paulie and Rocky? He was Rocky's brother-in-law, right? And he introduced Rocky to hitting the big sides of beef. And the news lady came down to visit on Rocky, man. Y'all probably don't remember this. But Paul is smoking a cigar. He said, "Hey, but what about me?" She said, "What about you?" And he said, "I'm in charge of the meat." And they push him on off there. Because Paulie worked at the butcher, or I guess that was a meat house, or what do you call a meat house? Just meat house? It's slaughterhouse. Paulie was Adrian's brother. Thank you so much. So it's Adrian's brother. It eventually becomes Rocky's brother-in-law. And he was comic relief. He was comic relief. I like Paulie. Bit of a racist though. But anyway, I digress. I've been on my soapbox almost long enough. I'm gonna just a few more things. The 14 things. It will open pass lanes because when they drop down in the box, which if you're dominant, you can't stop it with the front five, the front six. You'll have to drop somebody else down. Now you're running 7 in the box, and even if it's very, very bad, to stop it, you got to drop 8 in the box, thusly creating the squared away effect. Because I'll take Debo, I will take Brandon Allen, I'll take not Brandon, I'm sorry, Brandon Ayuk, I will take Juwan Jennings on outside one-on-ones. I'll take even CMC on a quick slant that the middle of the field is open in that lane where the safety is back deep, because you still got 8 out there, or if they go 0 and drop everybody down, it's just 88 out the gate. You gotta throw it in. You go wide, and it's wide open. It's like no man can cover any man over 3 seconds, 3.5, 4 seconds. Somebody's got to be open, especially when there are no safeties over the top. It just opens everything up. It does. It demoralizes defense when you're running that ball and they can't stop it. When the holes are just being open, pause. When it's just a ruthless bludgeoning and pounding over time and time and time again. It just is. It is. When you can't stop them and they just keep on running that thing, and you have superior athleticism, superior athletes, stronger athletes up front. My scripture is Jeremiah, the 12th chapter in the 5th verse. If you run with the footmen and they have wearied you, how then can you run with the horses? You need horses up front, my friends. Horses up front. A whole bunch of diabolical schemes and card games and 3-card Monty. That's cute. It's going to get by 1 or 2, 3 times, 4 times. You go get 10 wins out of it. You might get 12 because you got really good guys. But when you go in the playoffs against upper echelon defensive guys who come up with their own schemes and have looked at you all year long, they know where the bodies are buried. They are going to see through minutia. They're going to see through the fog and start guessing right. And it's going to get down to attrition. Who's tougher, who's got the mind, who can continuously go after them and hit them up. That's what's going to happen. It keeps home run hitters opposition off the field. That's what I talked about earlier. It eliminates them from being able to hurt you. They over there on the sideline drinking Gatorade and saying, come on, defense, come on. Sometimes they be mad. It's like, man, y'all defense suck. So, hey, that's another one of my 14 things. Clock continuously runs. Here's another thing, too. We get caught off on false starts because everybody don't know the snap count, or you have to change up the snap count when you're trying to fool them and you're trying to do different things. But with an offensive line of superior grade, a top 5 offensive line, where that's how bad those Packers were in the 60s. They came up with the power sweep, and Vince Lombardi can give you a whole 8-hour dissertation on the power sweep, from what everybody's doing it to the steps, to the levels of what they're trying to do, the kick out versus the kick in. If you face this defense, it goes this way. If you face that defense, it goes that. Everybody knew what was coming, and you couldn't stop it. That's the power of an offensive line. You can just Say on one, ready, break. And everybody know it's on one. You don't have to say on the color, on the number, on the third hut, on the on the smoke. You don't have to say all of that. So it eliminates a lot of dumb false start penalties where you're out there guessing what's the new snap count because you're trying to keep people off guard. I don't need to keep you off guard. You know it's coming. I know it's coming, and I'm just about to bust you open. That's how the Packers did it. That's how the Cowboys did it. You knew that they're gonna power Trey O was coming with Moose off the right tackle and Emmett coming right behind him. The Hogs had to counter Trey. You knew the counter Trey was coming. There ain't nothing you can do about it. It's just, hey, we can't stop it. What else? O-line makes everyone better. Looking at the stats, it can just make instantly make the quarterback better, make the offensive line better, make the tight end better. Versus two deep zone, you could beat it. Their strong safety and linebacker have to now drop down. I think we mentioned that. It creates mismatches on our tight end Kittle, so he can now be open, or CMC doesn't have to stay in. You got 5 in there. It's called scat protection. You can get everybody into the pattern when you got people. You don't have to come up with what he said, chips and help and chips and different little techniques because we got subpar linemen. What is wrong with you, dude? I mean, I missed the hand at. Hold on. I ain't really want to go here, but this gonna hit some people a little different than it hit others. But
What are you people? On dope?
Hey man, I can't believe he fixed his mouth to say nothing like that. And that might have been a little bit below the belt, and Lord forgive me if it was, because for those of you that know, I ain't gonna publicize it. I ain't gonna go over it a little bit, but Coach Foerster had some issues in some other places. But I digress. And Brock can have lanes to run. That's what I got last. But I thought I had my yellow book with better stuff in it than this. Needless to say, let me put some stuff in the chat, and we gotta get on. But as I transition, I just wanted it for the record. I'm telling y'all what I know. The offensive line is very, 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 very important, and it deserves to be talked about and analyzed and given better athletes and drafted better than somebody saying, it ain't a skill position. I mean, don't marginalize that, man. As I open up the chat there, it's down in the chat if you want to stop on through. I know I'm in the second hour right now. It's now 11:01. I'm ready for anybody just to jump on, talk to me. If you disagree, please, by all means, come and talk to the Tarrerdome. If you're making your facts, state your facts, young man. State your facts. The next one, I gave you the 14 reasons. As I really delve into it a little bit, there are 3 miracles, or I'll say a favor, a solid, and a miracle that have taken place. And I got just the guy to bring it up to. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, driving into work, my man Dion. What's going on? Let me pull this on out right here. Dion is in the hizzle for shizzle. Y'all, please welcome him as he comes in with a round of applause. There it is.
What's good, TD? How you doing, man?
You the man. You the man. I'm getting it off my chest, man. That daggone Chris Foerster, and a couple of people who, if Kyle peed in their face, they and said it was raining, they wouldn't do nothing. Get umbrellas.
Look, man.
Getting real sick of this.
If you're talking about that, then Chris Foerster is sitting right next to Jed York as Kyle is letting it fly. We all know, Jed think Kyle can do no wrong. We all know that. That is that's seen. So here's my thing with Foerster and the O-line thing. Do I understand where he's coming from? Yes. Okay. Do I agree with him? No. I understand what he's saying. My biggest issue is, you mean to tell me that you feel it's best to piece together an O-line and have one elite offensive lineman and everybody else can just be whoever? Like, in layman's terms, that's what you're basically saying.
Yes.
You said the left tackle got to be elite. We got to have the guy. We got to have a Trent Williams. We got to have a guy to rest his soul, Larry Allen. You know what I'm saying? Prayers up for him and his family and what they're going through. So young, man, only in his early 50s.
52, 2 years younger than me. And that one, so, it's like, whoa.
So for me, I think personally, look, at the end of the day, we all understand that the salary cap limits you to being able to pay certain people. And certain people going to get paid, certain people ain't. Why you think Mike McGlinchey ain't here? He priced himself out.
He disgusted himself out. He was getting thrown around. No, we're going to tell it like it is. We've been identifying. Mike McGlinchey should have been gone 2 years ago, along with Eric Armstead. I'm going to tell the truth and shame the devil. Yeah. When Eric Armstead has not had a pass breakup in his last years, and you 6'7". I went back and looked at your combine stuff, said you had a 34-inch vertical. And you mean to tell me that Tua Viola who ain't but 5'6", standing on some platform is throwing that ball over your head? I can show you how to take that. You had the game wrapped up against the Dallas Cowboys and held the quarterback, Dak Prescott, for 2 seconds and then let him go? No, man. And then go back and look at that Philadelphia Eagle game. Him and Kinlaw, the moment I saw that, you was going away from here. You was going away. It won't because you was great. It won't because you was great. You got that 17 million. No, and they still got problems at Denver.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The reason that I say, and I don't mean that he was worth the money. I'm saying from a league standpoint, he priced himself out. He played well enough to warrant a contract that we were not about to offer him. We all know Mike McGlinchey is a fantastic run blocker. We all know he is a subpar pass blocker. We all know Mike McGlinchey got put on his ass by somebody literally half his fucking size, and CJ Gardner-Johnson.
I thought it was I saw Michael Parsons throw him out the club. Was that Michael Parsons for the Cowboys?
I remember CJ. That was what I remember because he basically bull rushed him, and I'm like, how you bull rush somebody twice your size and actually win? Because offensive linemen are not supposed to have.
I'm gonna pull something up. Go ahead, keep on talking, brother. You got it.
Yeah, but on the Armstead issue, like there's when it comes to money, there's always two sides to every story. There's a player, and then there's the team. Now, do I believe that Armstead was the right pick? No. I will stand on the fact that DeForest Buckner should have got paid and Eric Armstead should have been left. You know why? And I'm gonna give y'all a prime example, people. Let's go back to, I forget what year I think it was when Kyle first got here in 2017.
Oh yeah, he blew them.
Didn't DeForest Buckner, with no help around him, still have 12 sacks? I'm not mistaken.
DeForest, but Defoe was the dude. Yes.
Defoe had 12 sacks on his own with no help. And
Defoe
we
was-
decided to keep the guy who barely cracked the double-digit sacks all his career. Now, don't get me wrong, people. I am talking about Eric Armstead, the football player, not the man, because the man is a fantastic. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, look at that. Game over.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about Eric Armstead, the football player, not the man, because the man is an amazing human. He is someone that you model yourself after. The way he carries himself, the things he does for the kids of Sacramento. He is from that area. He should have been Walter Payton Man of the Year a billion times over because of how great he is. But as far as football, the dude's all right. He mid, as these kids say. Eric Armstead is mid, people. And don't sit up there and think that he isn't and that he's better than that. And I can tell you right now, Jacksonville, you wasted your money. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing against him personally, but you wasted your money. You went out there and gave that man all that bread. He ain't going to do nothing for you. If you ain't watched what happened and transpired while he's been a Niner, you obviously ain't been paying attention. So for me, when it comes, going back to the offensive line, I don't like the fact that they have this, we can just find whoever and put whoever and it'll work. I actually hate that because it confuses me how Kyle loves defense so much, but you're an offensive guy. All you love is defense. You'll draft a defensive lineman every damn year in the first round if you could, but you refuse to address your offensive line, which is protecting your quarterback, who you are about to give a ridiculous sum of money to.
That is the asset. We protect the asset at all costs.
You got to, like, if Brock is not in there, and he's not able to stand in that pocket and deliver the ball correctly and do the things that he needs to do, then I'm going to tell you right now, we're screwed. We can't keep doing that.
Let me address Cali right quick. So why aren't we calling out Kusaric also? Because Kusaric didn't get on the podium and say, I'd rather have a skill position than a defensive lineman.
I'll tell you this. The reason why we haven't called out Chris Kusaric is because that man has just continually kept the rotation going, and all of the people that wind up on his line usually leave here and get paid. We ain't calling out Chris Kusaric for that reason. We would not call out Chris Foerster if these ragtag bunch of dudes that he was putting together was going elsewhere and getting broke off. Look at the past couple of years, Callie. You know it to be true, my guy. People are getting paid off this defensive line. They go out and get a bigger contract. Why they come here to create 5 to 7 sacks and go off somewhere and somebody breaks them off something real proper like? This is what it is. I hear you and I feel you, but that's the reason why we're not calling Kusaric out, because he getting people paid. People getting broke off. That's the difference. So when you do that, then you're like, okay, I can't really say much. Dude getting people paid. But when it comes to Foerster and Kyle,
and Kusaric he gets good.
He gets the best out of everybody.
They keep giving them good players because he stands up. He says, "Hey, I'll take Nick Bosa. Hey, bring that free agent into. I'm not mad at that. He's doing the best he can, and he asking for the best. He trying to make a wonderful spaghetti, and he want the freshest ingredients.
There it is. I got to have fresh tomatoes. I got to have fresh basil. I got to have a little bit of oregano in there. I got to have fresh Parmesan. All these things come into play.
Hey, he cooking. He cooking. Could they be better? Yes. Everybody.
1,000 times. Yes.
I see him doing the best he can. I don't need. If Kusaric came in, he said, "Man, I don't even want these ball players. They ain't nothing," or something crazy like that. I'd be on Kusaric head. But this dude got on that podium and said, "I prefer to get some skill players rather than my offensive line. I prefer to get donuts than fresh ingredients."
Exactly. You know what he's saying? He's saying, I want the Walmart brand over the organic.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm all right with the wall, but I can give you some mac and cheese using Cheetos and some Velveeta. Coming to the
Exactly.
stage right now. Speaking of cooking, my man Rod Callie's in the building.
Galley in the building. Yes,
What's up,
sir.
fellas? How y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? I
Hey,
love
man.
talking with y'all too, man. This is funny, man. This is what y'all mad
Blessed
for,
look.
man? What
All of us are
y'all don't
blessed and
see,
highly
man?
favored, man. We are all
Absolutely.
alive.
Glory to
I'm here.
God.
I'm here with two brothers I have yet to meet, but when we meet, we're gonna have a hell of a time.
Yes,
It's
sir.
going down, man. I think that honestly, we literally with all the content creators the 49ers have, we could do a whole fucking content creator conference.
Oh
We could
man.
literally rent out a hall. But I can tell you right now, just from behind the scenes, I'm gonna keep it thorough with you. There's a lot of people that do not mess with each other, and it's
Yeah,
sad.
Oh,
It's sad.
yeah.
can can I
But
can I say this though? Why is it that a lot of people I'll say it, bump it. I love people to get on here and then when you meet them, they
whole
act
different person.
nothing
Whole
yeah,
different person.
nothing like and I'm like, why you act like it's all cool, it's all good? Motherfucker, you ain't no superstar. You just a plain person just like me. And
Regular,
I'm just
everyday,
excuse me.
average folks,
Excuse
man.
right. Hey, and if you meet me like this, trust me, I am the same way like this off camera, just like I am on camera. Bro,
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just a normal dude. Y'all be acting like superstars out here. Oh man, there goes
Oh, that's
X, Y,
him.
and Z. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say no names because some some
Shame,
vibe with some.
get off me,
Yeah,
girl.
some
Get
vibe
off
with
me.
some. So it
I'm
is
in
what it
the
is. I just
wrong.
know I've seen y'all. I've seen y'all. I've seen y'all in certain territories, and I just be like,
He ain't like that for
That's
wow.
real.
that's what that
Wow.
is. No,
Exactly.
you know
That's
what you're
all I
doing.
say
You're
is
saying
wow.
you're basically saying that's what we're
Wow.
doing. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know
Yeah.
how to
yeah.
be nobody else, man. I just know how to master Tarrerdome, and that is getting hard holding these alligators down. When I hear my offensive line coach say, "Well, I'd rather go ahead and get a skill guy who touches the ball."
They cool
I
with this
can't.
mediocrity. That's what it is. Us
Yeah.
OGs, we love the we were about championships. I put it in the chat. The OGs was about championships. We
Yeah,
got
man.
5 of them. These people, the newer generation, and some of these guys that love it, they love being relevant. I don't understand it for the life of me. I don't get the coddling that they love to do.
Oh
It makes
man,
absolutely no sense.
they don't get
I feel like
they
they were
don't
a
get
lot of
no
them were the
rings.
ones that got put in timeout in the corner instead of getting their ass whooped. It is what it
No,
is.
no rings for relevant. No rings for
Right,
relevant. You don't get a relevant ring.
right.
They don't.
Don't hang out in here too much. It's very chaotic. Don't hang out in here too much, man. See, this is the reason
Your,
why I work.
your
This is
hand,
why I talk with people like
hand look
that
a lot
because
better with rings. Remember Fred Sanford used to sing, "And would I be
yes,
sure?" it looked
hey
better
man,
with the ring.
I will tell you this. It is the most frustrating thing to watch these younger fans be happy with the relevancy and not want more. That is the most frustrating thing to me. And it frustrates me to no end that that's what our owner is doing. And see, people, I see Niner fans all the time. Arizona is deep with Niner fans. And there's a
Yes.
bunch of Kyle lovers out here. They love his dirty draws. And I look at them and I tell them all the time. And the number one thing that I hear is exactly what Rod said.
Oh,
It's, well, we're always in the hunt. I don't want to be in the hunt.
no.
In the hunt means nothing. You know why?
Preach.
Because at
Preach.
the end of the day, in the hunt is the same thing the Cowboys are. They in the hunt every damn year. They make the
Yeah,
playoffs. Don't matter how far they get, they still make it, right?
yeah, man.
At the
Hey,
end of the day, to get to the mountain
Yeah,
and
man.
fall.
Dion, Dak will Dak, right?
He will.
Kyle will Kyle.
Kyle
Kyle will
will
Ooh,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Kyle will
ooh,
Kyle.
ooh, ooh.
That yes, sir. Y'all heard it
Hey,
here first. Rod Cali said it. Kyle,
Kyle going
will
Kyle
Kyle.
going Kyle. Kyle
He
going
Kyle
gonna
Kyle.
will
be that
Kyle.
dude. He
Hey, which
always
brings me up.
has.
Let me holler at these three. I called it three miracles when I wrote this initially, but I would
Mhm.
call it a miracle, a favor, and a solid.
Mhm.
Where would we be without these three things? Now think about these three things that have happened. We get Trent Williams in a bidding war against Kansas City. That daggone Jimmy G gets signed and runs off for whatever reason. Jimmy G won to get Kyle close to 500. And you drafted the 262nd pick in the NFL draft, who gave you Pro Bowl selection lamb chops for the last 2 years at $875,000 a year. If these three
Mhm.
things don't occur, where are we in wins and losses? And does Kyle have a job?
You let me know. You let me know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime you look at it or think about it in that way, I don't for the life of me understand why people don't hold Kyle accountable. Yeah, he
Because he can
messes
do
up.
no wrong. You got to remember, man, he's brought us here. We're relevant. Why are you complaining? Why are you so upset? We in the playoffs every year. I haven't seen a Super Bowl win, but I'm happy we got there. That's the reason why. Because y'all wasn't around for the 5 Super Bowls that we actually won. We started out 5-0. We are now 5-3. And that's horrible. And I can tell you right now, I tell people every time I see them and I have this argument, you must at all times be smarter than your opponent. So when people come to me with debates, I tell them, I said, you know what I've noticed with y'all who like Kyle? They said, what? I said, you only remember the good things. You never look at him as a whole. You forget what happened when he got here. You forget the season that Jimmy decided he was a fucking running back and tore his ACL. You forget Kyle K beat Kansas City. You forget the COVID year when we had the most money sitting on the bench, injured. You
That was
forget
that
all
year.
these things. You imagine this stuff disappears. When they say winning cures everything, I'm telling you, it blinds people. You forget that, man. At the end of the day, it's like cheating on a woman. You cheated on her. You broke her heart. But magically, you come back. Everything is great. Everything is cool. You start buying gifts. She starts to forget that you cheated. And then you do it again.
Oh,
And what happens? She goes
oh,
back and says, well, shit, maybe I should have saw the sign the first go around.
ooh,
But I ain't
ooh.
see it because I saw them gifts. And believe me, that Birkin bag was beautiful. That Louis Vuitton was fantastic. The Balenciaga was great. Actually, I'm sorry. I can't say Balenciaga was great. I don't care what nobody say. Them Balenciaga shoes they got on right now look retarded. That shit is stupid. Anybody wearing them shoes should slap themselves. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Pay that kind of money for shoes to look like an idiot. Either way, I'll say this because I got to get in here and get to work. Love both of y'all. At the end of the day, I really do wish they would have paid more attention to our offensive line to protect our asset. I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna have cap casualties next year because Brock is getting paid. There are going to be some guys that are going to leave, and they're going to be significant dudes. Who they are, I don't know. But you can't keep walking up and asking dudes to restructure their contract to accommodate the next person. At the end of the day, I got to get paid too. I
Hello.
got a family. I got a home. I have my own bills. I can't keep restructuring, giving you a hometown discount to do this or do that. But
Hello.
next year, when Brock gets his payday, unfortunately, there are going to be some people that are going to leave. I don't believe that Debo is here next year. Jacob Cowing, if you show up and show out, you have literally pushed him out the door. And I'm not stating that's what Cowing is here to do, but that's the reason that Cowing is here, because you got to pay BA. If you don't pay BA, he ain't playing. Will he be at everything mandatory? Yep. Standing on sidelines, not doing shit.
Speaking of which, there was a recent signing, and the price of the brick is doing nothing but going up.
Justin Jefferson got broke off. And everybody's like, well, this has no bearing on BA because, he's not on the same level. Let me explain something to you. Everybody that continually gets paid, it has a bearing on him. You know the reason why? If we decide to screw him and franchise tag him, you know what we have to do? We have to pay him the average of the highest salary.
It's still going to be astronomical.
You don't give him the money anyway. Just pay him. Don't play. If you play with that man and his money, and the thing is, it's going to screw us, because while we like what we've seen from Pearsall so far, we don't know what that's going to look like on the field. I don't know what Ricky Pearsall is going to look like against some of these DBs. I don't know what we have in Jacob Cowing. You know what I'm saying? I love Juwan. Happy he got paid. Fantastic. But you got to take care of your number one dude. And I believe that's why you have the guys in the building you have. But nothing but love to y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. Be blessed. Man. Everybody have a wonderful day, man.
Have a wonderful one, man. I see another one in the chat who can, the only one I know that can take, I got a Philadelphia fan out there. We call him Unc, man. Come on in and slide in. Let me throw my Twitter up in there if you have time, because you're so busy making cakes. Man, I had to tell the people at work about that dude, man. I said, man, I got a homeboy, man. Let me tell you what he do.
Oh gosh. But
he's so legendary.
It's more to that story than what he's actually saying. That's why it's fun. It's comedy. It's beyond comedy to me, because I'm not going to. It's funny to me, but yeah. I just call him. Yeah, he's a cake maker. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. That. Wow.
I am the baker. I am Anzio. I am the baker. That's my Godfather. I am the baker for your father.
Yeah.
For your father. Come on in, Baker.
Yeah, legit. Man, he's comedy. Yeah, keep going.
On my list there. Latest in rumors. Oh no, we gotta talk about how my girl, what's her name? Monica McNutt, basketball analyst, WNBA, kind of shut it down on Stephen A yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw, but I'm about to present arms for y'all. Miss Monica McNutt, who I just adore. She's going to get married to my dude. I ain't never met him, but he got to be a good man if he dealing with Monica McNutt. She a little bit of him in the pause, I guess that's in her, but that's her name, so I can't do nothing about it. Let me share. It is what it is. What you want me to do? Let me see here.
Man, this pause button is destroyed on this channel, man.
I done broke it a couple times.
Who talks about the WNBA? Who talks about women? Who talk about women's sports more than First Take?
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
Who's the best pop novel?
All right, we gotta go.
You know you're my guy, but
who does more than
Stephen A., I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Don't do that. I'm talking to you about the power that you have.
Okay.
I'm talking to you.
You
my guy, but I'm talking to you.
Guys, I really appreciate
my girl. You missed a lot of.
3 years ago, you were not talking about the W at this level. Don't do that.
Guys.
Nobody was, Monica. You making Stephen A. point, Monica. You making Stephen A.
Yeah, got a little frisky. out there.
Hey, can I say this? What's funny is Stephen A. Smith is comedy, and the reason why I'm laughing is most men know. Yeah, let's keep it real. Most men
Go ahead.
know when you get caught up in something, right? And you know your old lady that caught you up, right? What's the first thing we normally say? So you gonna say that? Wow.
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 Now you're giving
That
away
is the
inside.
most that's the most blackest statement of being caught up I've ever heard in my life. Anytime a black man go, wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
I just gave
Wow.
y'all a little something right there, women. That's one on the house.
Wow. Mind blowing. You would even say that. Wow. I mean, she hit him in his throat, and then for that, I don't know who produced the Twitter. I gotta check your name, but for you to put that ether in there, oh yeah, that was dope. That was
Hey,
dope.
did you know that she was on she ended up getting on Steve on Shannon and them last night. She got on there.
I saw she was on there
too.
And Ocho Cinco said, man, that was some of the best journalism I've ever seen. So I stopped watching them and started hunting for what she said.
Huh? Yeah, I don't know what she said either. I just know, like, when it comes to this WNBA stuff and everything, what she said was comedy. It was the wrong context for the time because she was actually wrong. So it was just, but she said it.
But she said it. She got it.
She said it. Right. So I was just like, wow, you really don't pay attention. And it's like when we have those analysts get on and they speak about how the Niners are, and you know damn well they ain't watched not one game. They just flip from channel to channel and want to talk about us. Yeah. And you be like, where you gonna get this information about us and our squad from? That ain't what we do. So why does this narrative get there? But that's the same thing.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, he's a statue. They're not gonna win. You ain't watch a Niner game, you don't know what's what, dude.
You know nothing.
And speaking of the WNBA, man, what do you think about how they are going? Because I don't want her to get on my program one day and say, you had a platform too, and you ain't ever talk about us. Because I do talk about Caitlin. I was more excited. I'll tell you this. I was more excited watching in women's NCAA basketball in the last 2 years than I was for the NCAA men. I prefer watching LSU and South Carolina and Caitlin when she was at Iowa. It's a more intellectual game. It's a more fundamental game, and them ladies can shoot, man. As a non-shooter, I go hard to the paint, pause, and I hit them layups at a high percentage, or I'll bang you up out of there. I got that old man, throw it to me, I'm open. I love shooters, and I study the shooters, man, and them girls. At one time, I saw them going like, it was like 3 bomb, 3 bomb, 3 bomb, 3 bomb. I think it was Iowa playing South Carolina. I think it was, yeah, and they just couldn't miss. But with Caitlin and Angel Reese coming to the game, it seemed like they roughing them up a little bit, and it is some comeuppance when you make that transition. I seen that in the men's game. They used to beat up Jordan. They would freeze him out of the All-Star game. Wouldn't even give him the ball. You're a rookie. You had to go through that. You get hazed up. You take my bags. But
that's an old school mentality. They don't get it.
It don't look like a woman's supposed to be thrown down like that. But you an athlete. You a competitor. You coming in my league. We used to say you can't get on the bus driving. And Caitlin making that paper, And I know they feel a little some kind of way, but you do have to be a little bit respectful because she is bringing eyes and revenue to
Talk about it. Talk
sport.
about it.
When that money
Talk
starts,
about
that middle America money is different than a select few pocket people for the WNBA. We're seeing sellouts now versus giveaway for tickets. Even as good as these basketball players were.
Let's keep it real. You got Caitlin Clark, and what you just let's go off of what you just said right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the last 2 years, the two people that made a lot of stuff more relevant, Reese, LSU, Caitlin Clark. Regardless of color, they kind of remind you of two people in the 80s. Hey, you with me, Tarrerdome? I think because we OGs and understand this thing. Where was the NBA going at that time?
We
before
was
Magic
going in the toilet. Yes, they was on tape delay and all of that. And
keep talking about it. Keep talking.
Before those two boys came out of college, we didn't even watch. I think Magic's first championship, his rookie year, it was on tape delay.
It absolutely was.
I was 10 years old. It was 1980. And that's when I became a Laker fan because Magic played all 5 positions.
Hello.
Kareem got hurt in like a game 6.
Game 5.
Is it game 5? It was
game
against
5.
the Philadelphia 76ers. And Magic had to play center.
Absolutely.
And he started at the point guard. He played a little forward. He played all 5 positions. He put up 42, and he was
15 and 8. Man. Magic Johnson is my favorite player ever. So anything you talk about with Magic is literally my favorite player ever.
I was in Parker Hall arguing with Buddha and all of them. Magic Johnson this was 1990. Or no, it was 1991. And Michael Jordan took our candy. When he changed in the air, man, I was still arguing. I said, until Michael win 5, he ain't the GOAT, Magic Johnson. We didn't say GOAT back then. I said he the greatest player.
He was the best player. Yep. I'm with you.
Ever.
I'm with you.
And,
I'm with you.
And then Mike proceeded to say, "No, he
really?" Yeah, he was like, "Oh, really?" We do recall a certain pieces of footage, and also that they clarified coming from a dream team practice that was closed, and it was some trash talking that went on in that in that closed gym area where Magic was doing a little pointing and talking and telling Karl Malone, "Keep doing your thing" to Charles Barkley. And don't worry about this other kid over here. I got him. He ain't doing nothing. You forget this bald head kid that came out of, born in Brooklyn, raised in North Carolina.
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Wilmington, to be exact. That guy said, "Really? Oh, that's how y'all want to do it, huh?" Remember, it was a guy named Larry Bird that was laying probably on his stomach because you remember he had a bad back then.
He did the backiotomy.
Yeah, he had a backiotomy at the time, So that guy took over something, and needless to say, he shut a lot of people's mouths up after that. And he said, "You know what? I think he is the greatest player right now. He is that dude, and rightfully so."
I think Magic said, I just imagine saying, "I guess the man was tired of me talking."
And Jordan took it into his own hands and did what he needed to do. So great accomplishment off the floor and all money. She's okay. Now back to the WNBA thing. Caitlin, Reese.
Caitlin Reese.
That's who they remind us of. Now we look at how much publicity that they're getting, how much airtime that they're getting. A lot of women that have been in the league for years to come, obviously, when you look at a lot of stuff, anybody who comes into the league and you hear about, oh, they're this and oh, they're that. That's kind of, to veterans, okay, they're gonna have to prove it to me. I'm an old ball player, so anytime you heard people talk, let's just go. I think that's the board any sport that we play. Football.
Oh yeah.
You had somebody in front of you telling you, hey, Tarrerdome, hey, your boy over here, the tight end said he the greatest tight end, and he heard about you, and you can't cover him, in a phone booth. You're gonna be like, oh, really?
Okay.
Keep that same energy when I see you. Okay. Keep that
Steaming
same energy.
Steaming, Willie beaming. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when it comes down to it, you got a lot of these veterans that say, we're not going to make it easy on you. We respect you because you made it to this plateau and to this point, but it ain't going to be that easy. Now, when you think about how much the NBA has tried to help out the WNBA, look how much they have going on. Hey, they're going to games. You never saw NBA players really going to games how they are now. Why is it that? Because they're pushing this. They need that type of notoriety. They need that. Well, it's not fully needed because you have two players now, upcoming stars, regardless of whichever way that they go. They're upcoming stars. They're bringing you that notoriety. They're getting you guys that type of publicity. I love Asia Wilson. I think she's a good player for the WNBA and all that. But baby, you wasn't getting this type of attention and everything now how you are years before. It is what it is. Just those are facts. That's not let's not get it twisted. You just got a shoe deal. You know what I'm saying, from Nike. Because people are starting to notice what's going on there. Some folks didn't even know you played at South Carolina. They didn't even know that you played there. So be thankful because of them two stars and look at it and go, hey. While y'all can play a little certain way with them, y'all also got to remember those two people help you get your money and help you get a lot of things that's going on in this game right now. And if you look at the trajectory of how this game is moving, be careful with what y'all doing to those two, mainly those two. It is what it is. People don't want to accept it for what it actually is. And the game and how she's getting treated and all that. Look, man, basketball, regardless if it's open gym, on TV, whatever else, however you want to look at it. Once you get targeted on a basketball court and people look at you as being good, they want to see you back that up. Period, point blank. People can look at it and say, oh, she's getting bullied on the court. I hear that. I don't think so, but I hear it. You know what I'm saying? And I understand certain things and certain topics behind it. He got pushed, before she even got the ball. Man, there's plenty of players. If we were to really pay attention to a lot of things like that, you would see the same thing from a lot of players. So it's cool. I get it. But y'all know who's getting the money. Be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, don't mess your paper up. Red Jet did Tarrerdome. Did you hear what Pat McAfee said about Caitlin Clark? He called her that Whiskey Bravo on live TV, cleaning it up for those of you on daytime. But it's the acronym is Whiskey Bravo. It's kind of indefensible, man. Pat, you on your own on that one. I'm leaving that alone. Nick Nice says Shelly Pat used to be my guy until he got too big, making people pay to chat. That's when you drawing in that major paper. They love some Pat. We'll see how this one bounced back. Allison Burley, my cousin, I up there enjoying my man Daniels, who I think is going to be the best quarterback. None of that carries weight on the floor. Non-players are making this about money and accomplishments. On the floor, none of that matters. You going at my neck and I'm going at yours. Hey, that's how you got to handle it. Hey, they got a goon. They might have to goon her up a little bit. Get your who the what you come have? Get you a Charles Oakley.
Hello.
Go to Virginia Union University. Got plenty of them, and get you a Ben Wallace on that team. A female Ben Wallace, and we'll see if you mess with our cash cow for a little bit. Pay them handsomely, and get you a Rodman. Get you a Draymond Green.
Xavier McDaniel.
Yes, a Rick Mahorn. And
That
we'll
lame
see
beard guy.
Yeah. Every superhero should have one.
Every team needs to have that person where you should, especially coming into the league, you already are behind the 8 ball. Regardless of where your stature is or whatever, you're still behind the 8 ball. Okay, she's getting the notoriety, she's getting this, she's getting that. Now, I don't know how she treats her teammates, because that's a whole nother entity. I hope you treat them cool, you know what I'm saying? But each time I've seen certain things, I also look at where your teammates are.
Yeah.
Because that tells me a lot about, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was about to say it.
Do they side eye you, or are they coming to your defense and say, hey man, get off our, is she wearing that jersey? Just like you
That's
know,
my
we ain't gonna have
teammate.
that. We ain't gonna have that.
That's my teammate. Back up.
That's my teammate. That's my teammate. Or is you like, that's her?
Hey, I didn't see it. Oh,
Yeah.
what happened? Oh, she did
I
what?
was over.
What?
I was putting and the ball. I ain't. What? Something happened.
Coach called me. I turned around. You know, everything else is more important than the whistles that you're hearing. So that also plays in my psyche when I look at certain things and I go, I hear all this bullying and all this and so on and so forth. I just pay attention to teammates. I look literally, and people need to pay attention. Look at the bench.
Mm-hmm.
It tells a lot about how your teammates look at you and feel about you.
Yes,
behind certain closed doors about how they feel about you. But people don't really pay attention to that. Oh man, he ain't that type of way. Man, how come they didn't do that for him? How come they always jumping on him about that, this and that? It's a reason. You have to look at certain things behind closed doors. What was that in drum? You remember in Drumline? You remember when he remember when they went up there and remember the dude, the old boy was clowning and he stepped up in front of Big Boy and he started hitting his drums. You know what I'm saying? He started hitting and the dude, he turned around and he punched him. And he was like, they was fighting. And the dude turns around and goes, yeah, man, thanks for having my back. He was like, I didn't have your back, dog. I did this for A&T.
Yes,
certain people that do things for the reason of the team, it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Y'all better pay attention to certain stuff,
very
man.
Good. Very good analogy. Very good example there. That was that you hit hard on that one. I got to come back and get another one before it's over with. Kylie Young, she sure did. I wish I were lying. He sure did. I wish I were lying. I know what was it in context to? What was he saying? It really ain't no excuse. I can't clean it up, but I probably need to see it.
He said it in a way, you know how women say it to each other, like in an endearing way. He said it that, in my opinion, let me make that clear. I feel like, in my opinion, he said it the same way, but you know how people look at it from that perspective of, why are you saying it? It's kind of like when women say, don't call me a bitch, but their homegirls can call him a bitch, and you be like,
yeah. He's like,
why she can call you one, but I can't?
And
it's in that context.
And
I'll leave it at that.
You know how we do with a specific word.
Absolutely.
Was it hard ER or was it something? Callie Young brings up Anthony Mason. Anthony Mason was a destroyer too. You had that was a,
the man with cursive.
Y'all know they were enforcers. I should
Absolutely.
say. Enforcer.
The
You
man
need
with
some
the man with the dopest haircuts back in the day. He used to have a cursive in his haircuts. I used to think
Yeah.
that was the
You remember
dopest
that?
thing every game. I used to be like, bro,
Yeah,
who used to cut that man's hair like that? I don't know if
you
a
know
lot of
that
folks
broke
know.
bone.
Kicking the Door, B.I.G. That song is about Anthony Mason. Just a little quick little one. But anyway, carry on.
Okay. Blast from the past. I just saw Cornbread Maxwell. When the Celtics won the championship, he presented the trophy for the Eastern. He looks good. He looks really good, man. He had a suit on, weight. You get old man weight after you hit 50. But he done kept it all pretty good, man. Shaved head, cornbread, but I couldn't stand him during the 80s. Him and another dude named ML Carr. Remember they used to just be waving the towels around and stuff, man, in Boston. And Boston, I just, man, I can't root for the Celtics. I just can't do it. I like the ball players. I like the young men, man. Tatum. I like Brown, which I'm thinking they got a little beat. Based on what you said, I was looking at them present that trophy to Brown, and then I was looking for where Tatum at. And I noticed he wasn't one of the congratulators and stuff, man. He was off to the side. I think the coach had called him, and he was, I was just over here. I'll be over here. He was like, that trophy's supposed to be mine. I'm the dude,
Shout out to Jaylen Brown, man. Wheeler High School here in Atlanta, Marietta to be exact. Knew him, saw the kid growing up. But it's a different dynamic there in Boston because you have, in my opinion, two guys that arguably do the same thing, But hey, it works for them. It works for them. We'll see this next series.
Yeah, you
going
don't
into
think
the
that's
finals.
I'm going to
see
be
how this
watching.
plays out.
I'm going to be
yes.
watching, but I
As
cannot
a Laker
root
fan,
for
we wanted
Boston.
absolutely.
And,
As a Laker fan, you want this to self-destruct.
Yeah,
Let's keep it real. You want it to
And,
self-destruct.
but Brown is brilliant, man. He chose Berkeley over Kentucky, and he's he headed the chess club, a chess whiz, and he's like a aeronautical engineer. He's into robotics and stuff like that, which brings him more fascinating, man. Look at the brain on Brad is what I'm trying to say, man. Really a fascinating guy. Ellison says Clark threw a little jab and talked some smack to play Pryor, and Carter came back, made a bucket, and she talked some more trash to her own with the little touch-up push. Ellis is a basketball player, so if he's giving it the touch-up push, that's what we call remember that referee said he's down there giving them the business. This is going to happen in the finals. Hey, yeah, it is what it is. It's the nature of the game. It ain't contact, but contact is incidental.
See what your cousin just said, Ellison. He's 100% correct because think about this: you never see what happened for the person to push. No. You never see the beginning. You always see the end.
You see the reaction.
The reaction of how, she just got pushed. And the first thing she does is
what?
The frantic look. I don't even know how I got here. What did I do? Well, if you play back 2 plays when you was down there talking all that junk and getting in folks' faces and telling them this and that, you never see. That's the thing that people never know about what goes. This is why I always tell people, and I know, I get it. Everybody's financial ways, it can't happen. I always tell people, for the best experience to understand basketball, if you didn't play it, but if you could ever sit courtside and just hear the banter of how your favorite player sounds on the court, I guarantee you would change your whole mindset in basketball and how you look at the game. Yeah. I guarantee you that. Because if you hear half of what you think of hearing on the court, oh my goodness, y'all would be like, Yo, that's why I don't fool with Mike Bibby.
Not my guy. Yeah, your guy out there doing
I
it.
played against Mike Bibby growing up. So me and Mike, I have a personal thing about Mike Bibby. I used to lock his ass up in high school. That's one thing I know for sure.
Tell
And
him,
I've
tell
given
him,
him the
tell him,
business.
talk your
Because
ish.
it's certain people, it's certain people when you've played against them and you know for sure, like, okay, everybody has networking ways. His dad, if y'all don't know, Mike Bibby's dad
Yeah,
went to
yeah,
USC. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He was there. So Mike, and plus his dad played in the league. He played for the
yeah.
76ers. So Mike had certain things for him that worked. But on the court, a lot of people don't know, Mike Bibby talks a lot of trash. And he really is a big light skinned person when I say that. Like he talks real light skinned. But when you put that, you put some real defense on him and you give him that same energy and then you give him that business. All I'm gonna say is I can talk my shit to Mike Bibby for the rest of my life, period. And I did that 2 years straight. There's
Come
no
on,
way
sir.
you can tell me. Granted, he made it to the league, and that's, everybody knows, oh, but he made it to the league. Just like in the song Why by Jadakiss, you got some folks that didn't make it into the league. There's somebody up north better than Jordan that didn't make that break. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
certain things that you know what I mean? That it is what it is. I'm not saying I was Jordan or anything like that. It's just the whole context behind Mike Bibby ain't all that good to me. And I stand on that.
man, unspoken, man, unspoken.
You know.
Ellison say it's basketball, folks. Move on.
It is. It's just
It is.
basketball. I agree with him. Like
It is. It
man,
is. But this
it's a
is
narrative.
what happens when you get new sets of eyes looking at a sport in which you're familiar with, but they're relatively pedestrian.
Yep.
It's kind of like the Taylor Swift folks
Absolutely.
looking at the ball and saying, "Well, why is he? Why is Taylor boyfriend so locked up by that number 57 guy?"
Right.
You don't understand the whole context behind this stuff and why they celebrate 57's out. 57's out.
Yeah.
All you know is Taylor boyfriend seems to be very, very happy now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just they don't understand the subtle nuances and the context in which they're seeing the game. And they don't know and they don't care. They just want Caitlyn to win. Somebody a while back said I think Nick Nice, because he's just been on fire today, said this all stems from the you can't see me and Jill Biden wanting the losing team to come to the White House, which we never do.
Never heard of.
Don't you ever tell the losers to come to the White House. I don't care. I don't care if your daughter was on the team. Don't do that. No, we don't do that.
Right.
Second place sucks for just that reason.
Always.
Yeah. What else I got going here? I think I done hit it all. I had the game. Do we have a game tonight? Or
is it a game?
I think I was man, what was I doing? I think I got this when there was a game that night and I'd never erased it. What else I want to talk? Oh, over the weekend, Deontay Wilder got hit and turned around backwards.
Thursday's the game.
I think it's over for Deontay. What you think, man?
Done. Hey man, it's been good. Last 4 out of 5 fights. You've lost. You made enough money. Hopefully everything is taken care of on that end financially, that your family is set up for generations. But it's a wrap. Just stop.
Stop it. Just stop.
It's done. It's kind of like, you remember in you watched, what was it, the Rocky 5, one of the worst Rockies, when remember at the very beginning? Yeah. Remember at the very beginning of that when he was in the shower Because they kept
Yeah.
showing when he kept getting hit by Ivan Drago, and it was like, hey man, you need to stop, man. You know, because he was having them situations in his head. Like, it's that same type of feeling in my opinion. Like, bruh, just stop. Just stop. Your equilibrium can't take it no more, man. You not just stop.
Yeah.
Stop. You raise your children, man. And be able to raise your children and not have symptoms like Muhammad Ali had or Tommy Hearns had. Or has. You know what I mean? Like, they bad off right now. Can't halfway speak, slurring words. Like, that's sad to see your heroes, the great ones, and they legit put it all out there and left it that way. Pause. And now their body is paying for it tremendously. Like, just stop. Just stop.
Yeah, if you can't get no more wins on relatively, I ain't gonna call the people no names, but they're not championship caliber, people, the household names. This is
right.
Kind of mundane dudes. It's like he fought who? Zilda Zago.
I don't even know who the person was. I'm with you. I don't
Yeah.
even know who this person was. I'm being real. I
When
didn't
they said
even know they
Wilder
was
was
fighting.
I was like, oh man, it must be Tyson Fury or somebody I done heard about. I ain't heard of this dude. And then you take that KO like that, man. Shannon Sharp was he said he hit him, and I had the footage. I ain't keep it on the bookmark. He hit him and then he turned him around and then he KO'd him. And Shannon Sharp said, I felt like I was in a horror movie. Look out, he behind you.
Yeah, he behind you. Like, what are you doing? Callie, I appreciate that. I did have the wrong song. Once you just said that just now, I agree with you. Yes, that was it. I mixed the songs. Thank you. Thank you, sir. But yeah.
Got a story to tell about Mason. Kick in the Door was about Nas, Ray, and Ghost. Oh.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah. I knew both of those, but I threw it. Yeah, I threw it all. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. After he said it, I was like, dang it. I did say the wrong song. But yes.
Callie Young. Oh my God. I thought it was someone else for years. But then I realized it was him way later. So everybody had a revelation. And the real draft pick has spoken.
That was a basketball part. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. Yeah. I mean, I could hold my own back then. In my heyday, I held my own back then. Just know. Just know. I look, I'm being real when I say this. I literally, in high school, I played against Baron Davis. He went to Crossroads High School. I played against him. Paul Pierce. I was a freshman. Played against. Yeah, he went to Morningside. Yeah, he went to Morningside High School. Played against him. Played against Gilbert Arenas. He was out there in the Valley. Extra fast. Played against him. There's a bunch of players I played against growing up. Tyson Chandler, Tayshaun Prince. They went to Dominguez Hills. Out there, played against them.
Was Tayshaun always so long?
Yes.
Because he took a ring off me too, man. Them Pistons got me in. What year was that? 2004. 4? Yeah, man.
04.
They had Ben Wallace. I went to he went to my same university. He went to Virginia Union as well. But I think he went a little after me. It was Big Duke. He might have been there. He was there in 94. I think he was there in 94. I think he came after me. But yeah, man, he was y'all remember the Malice Palace?
Friday night.
Big Ben Wallace, man. They go hard, man.
I remember that Friday night. Where was you when the Malice in the Palace? Do you remember where you was and what you was doing when that happened?
I didn't see the game live. It was right after Sports Center, and I came downstairs. My stepson said, "Man, they done tore up Detroit." I said, "What's going on?" Man, they started showing how it all went down. How, dude, he won't Meta World Peace yet. He was He was
He
Ron
was Ron
Artest.
Artest. Yeah, he was Ron Artest at that time.
It reminded me of a movie called Slapshot.
I
A
remember that
hot
movie.
movie with Paul
Yeah.
Newman, and they had the
Yeah.
Hansons, and they went up in there and they started fighting everybody. And the Hansons had glasses, so the dude knocked his glasses off and he couldn't see. And his brother trying to tell him it was that one, and then he punched the dude. He said, "No, not that one. It was that one."
Yep. Yeah. That was I remember it being Cali. That's crazy. That was before your the night before your birthday. I remember it being a Friday. I remember this is funny. 04. I was 24 at the time. I remember being at a club that night and it was playing, like, you know how they have like little TVs in certain areas. And I saw it, you know how everybody is like, it went from folks moving and doing their thing to everybody was looking at the TV. And I was like, what's going on for everybody to kind of be over there? So you kind of look and you be doing your thing, and it was like, yo,
This
they
is
really got
happening.
down. Yeah, it was really like that. I remember that. That was wild.
The game had just stopped, and then dude came out on that floor, man. It stood up on man, who decked him? Was that Steven Jackson?
Jermaine O'Neal. He slid.
O'Neal,
Yeah, he slid. If he would have connected with that dude before he slid, I think he might have. That was, man. He might have been in jail right now.
Yeah,
he might have been in prison for that hit.
He might still be pulling time with Eddie Murphy and and Martin Lawrence getting their toe stuck in a bottle.
Man, you ain't never lied, boy. Quit talking to me, man. Go make me see up here messing with you right now. I got my toe stuck in the damn bottle.
Oh,
yeah, you ain't lying.
My toe stuck in the bottle. Hey there, yard boy. These petunias could use some attention. Perhaps a fertilizer bring back their luster.
So they're losing some of their exuberance. He said, yeah.
Hey, yard boy. Let me go, man. I got a meeting with Apostle Robert Walker. I'm doing his anniversary Saturday. And if he's in the chat, man, holla at my man Robert Walker, Apostle Robert Walker, 5th year anniversary. Get ready to meet up with them at Firehouse Subs. I'm gonna try to get a sponsorship. Firehouse Subs. I love Firehouse Subs. I don't know. I got
cheese is the greatest.
I'm just gonna go to him and say, "Look, give me some money."
Yeah.
I'm a Debo a sponsor for Firehouse Subs. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, man.
Appreciate you having me on.
Golden Domers for being my my sounding board and the highest of festivity for Finding Foerster, which was a great movie. Sean Connery and was that Derek Luke? Did you ever see Finding Foerster?
Nah,
he was
I know Finding Foerster. The dude's name was Jamal. That's my middle name. His name was Jamal, so that's the reason why I remember that movie. That was a good very good movie because he was a ball player.
Yeah, he was a ball player, but he tried to subdue his intellect to kind of fit in, and I found myself doing that a lot in school because I've forgotten a lot of stuff, but I know I just used to keep tidbits of stats and, you know, stuff that interests me. And, you know, it ain't necessarily the most, it's not so much a black thing to be that smart. You can,
so they say.
Yeah.
So they say.
And that's stereotypical, ladies and gentlemen.
I was about to say that.
If you a genius, be a genius, and don't be afraid to be. Just don't be an a-hole. But if you pretty intelligent, keep on being pretty intelligent, man. That don't make you. Or if the friends don't like it, find new friends. That's the problem.
It's fun. It's fun to be smart. You just play dumb. Just play in certain areas. Just read the room where you don't have to be the smartest in the room. Sometimes being the smartest in the room, just be quiet.
Yeah, or just say, huh?
Right.
You know.
I love doing that to people around me. Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh,
word. Yeah. All
cool.
right.
And they always look at, do you even know such and such? And then when I start talking, I break certain things down, and they be like, I didn't know you know that. I'm like,
damn, that boy, genius.
Yep.
All right, let me get ready to get on out of here. Rod,
Salute
always
to
a
y'all.
pleasure.
Likewise,
My
brother.
main man, Dion, he be at work getting it done. Always a
Salute
pleasure,
to
man.
Dion.
Thank you guys for dropping by.
Salute to everybody in the
Ellison,
chat.
Red Shell, Nick Nice, Golden Domers, Kylie Young, Tanisha, all y'all, man. My A1s from day ones. Good to see you. Good to be with you. I will check
Who
y'all
gonna
back
be on the
out
show on Thursday?
It'll
gonna be on the show
Red
Thursday?
Jet
Is it the Red Jet Shell?
The Red
Is
Jet.
Shell gonna be on here?
She's
Shell,
on
put on
short time.
Shell, put on your helmet and get on the show on Thursday.
Show him,
Show
Red
him that
Jet,
little
you
giant
are
helmet.
in your position. You will get drafted first over Tristan Wirfs and and all
Hey, y'all, be
pros.
respectful in these chats too, man. So y'all don't get cussed out on the low or get X'd out. Y'all know who y'all are. Stay out of these streets trying to start trouble. Y'all know who y'all are.
See, the Regal Eagle says $65. Y'all know what it is.
That's Dennis. Unk's still in here. Look at him. I'm working on it right there. Yep. See, look at him. I'm working on one right now. That man wild, man.
The baker with all the goods. $65. Y'all need that cake. What kind of frosting you need?
look, let me stop. I ain't gonna say nothing. Ooh, boy.
I ain't not gonna hustle. Hey, I'm putting your stuff out there, man. Just you're a wonderful baker.
If you want an original, unique cake, hit up your boy Philly Bull. That's all I'm gonna say. Hit up Unk, man. You'll get an original cake. Never been done. Just know, hey, it's original.
It is original. We'll talk later. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. I will be chatting Thursday, 10 a.m. on the East Coast, except for you on the West Coast. Murder, She Wrote. Nah, that's Pat Summerall. 7 o'clock for y'all on the West Coast. So check me out then. Rod, always a pleasure. Hollering at
sir.
y'all.
Likewise.
God bless.